Hey everyone, it's Zip Dude here with part 5 of Beater with a Heater. In this episode, I'm going to tackle the fact that I have absolutely no heat. Turns out that the issue is a blend door that mixes the cold air from the air conditioning and the warm air from the heater core. There's not a whole lot of information out there regarding this repair. I had to dig for it and actually root around myself to figure out where this is. So once I got in there and figured out what the problem was, I decided I would record putting things back together. So I'm just going to play the videos in reverse to give you an idea on what it would be like if you were taking it apart. When I bought this car, they said there was no heat and no air conditioning. I charged the air conditioning and got that working, but the heat was intermittent. Sometimes I would have it, sometimes I wouldn't. The electronic controller that turns the heat up and turns the heat down and the fan and that kind of stuff, that seems like it's working the way it should. So I continued researching on the internet and found it possibly could be the heater blend door. What this is, it's a device that switches how much cold air and how much warm air to give you the temperature that you're looking for inside your car. The first thing you want to do is remove your glove box. What you need to do is push in on either side, and there's a little tab. Once you get that out, pull straight out, and that'll come out of the hinges. And on the right, there should be a little plunger, like a shock, but mine didn't have that. You would disconnect that if you needed to. The next thing we want to remove is a black trim piece that's on the bottom. There are 3 little clips that you press in on the horizontal surface in the front, and that lets it drop down. And then all the way in the back against the firewall, there's a little socket that goes into a hole there. So you would just pull that straight out, and you remove that. Now you'll be able to see all the wiring and the blower motor and other items. Next, we want to remove the door sill trim piece. There are 5 or 6 little trim clips that are hidden. What you need to do is just get underneath it or get on the side of it and pull straight up. It'll come out. Then the next thing we have is a direct trim piece in front of it. That one, there is a nut that you can turn by hand. That's up by the firewall. And once that is removed, we're able to pull straight back and remove that. And that'll expose a 10 millimeter bolt, which is part of the glove compartment housing. We're going to remove that 10 millimeter bolt, and there should be, I believe, 4 Phillips screws that are like in the 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 7 o'clock positions around that surrounding trim piece. Once they are removed, we could just pull that whole panel out, and we're going to be able to see all the wiring and the blower assembly. Okay, next thing we need to do is remove this little piece of ductwork here. There's one of those little Christmas tree trim things we need to pull out. And once we pull that out, this whole assembly will remove and we'll be able to see this blend motor. This is what I know is bad. This is the blend motor. We need to remove this, and to do so, we just got to squeeze on the front of that white electrical connector and pull straight out. And then there are 3 Phillips screws that hold this in. 2 of them are on the bottom. They're easy to get to. The one on the top is a little more difficult. You may need to use one of those right-angled screwdrivers, or what I ended up using was a little tip into like a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, and I ended up using that to remove it. You can see the way it works. There's that little white arm that extends from the inboard side of the motor, and that connects into a little slot. And that slot activates the flapper where it blends how much cold and how much hot air needs to come out of the vents in order for it to be the temperature you want. I'm going to try to video the removal process the best I can, but it's kind of hard to see in here, and it's kind of congested. Okay, this is the bad unit. You can see here, off camera, I'm adjusting the temperature to make the blend motor work. And you can hear the grinding, and you can see it's bouncing back and forth, and it really doesn't know what it wants to do. So, yeah, this is my culprit. And we're going to replace this. Now, there's some good news for you out there if you're one of those people that has access to a pick and pull, or you go to a junkyard to get your parts instead of paying over the counter for a retail price for a new piece. This is used in a lot of Toyota products, but I specifically found cross-references for this part that fits 2001 to 04 Highlanders, 2000 to 2004 Toyota Avalons, 2000 to 2008 Camrys, and of course the Toyota Solara that it comes from. There are other vehicles it fits too. Just to make your life easier, all you need to do is find these part numbers. It's on the side here, Pp.5 plus M20, or the other part number is AW063700-7811. And like I said, these go in a bunch of different vehicles. I got a replacement unit, I put it in, and that solved my problems. I hope that this information helps, because I know it's kind of scary when you're looking at these things and you're thinking it might be a very expensive repair, and it might be if you had someone else do it. But this is something even someone with the most minor capabilities can do and save yourself a ton of money, because this part at a pick and pull could be $8, but if you're buying a new part over the counter, it might be $120, $140, depending on where you buy it from. Plus, if you're going to pay for a shop to install it, you're going to pay for the time there. So, this is a low buck thing to keep your older vehicle going, and it's not that hard to do. Please like, subscribe, leave any comments below, and thank you for watching.